So Mike's gonna walk up to me just like he did, what was it, Mike, 2006?
2006.
And he goes, so how can I get a pair? Call Corey.
Did you have some comments? This is Tennessee Mike. He bought the first pair of the Underground Jubes, correct, Roy?
Yeah, you know what? I want to get this on freaking video. Because I was angry at this guy. I was. He come up because I intentionally made it hard for you guys to like a Jubilee. I chose the biggest, ugliest horn I had, the 402. And I got a cinema version, you know, textured black. Electronic crossover, 4 channels amplification. I even have my $39 CD player. And played these songs, and I'm like, there's no way. I mean, there's just no way. These guys are used to like 2 wires. So which one the red go on? And then this guy caught me all humbly and quietly walks up and says, I've had K-horns and I always loved my K-horns, and this is the best sound I've ever heard. How can I get a pair? And I'm looking at him like, you want a pair of these in your house? And he goes, they're the best speakers I've ever heard. And I said, you're not married, are you? And he said, no. And I said, makes sense. I said, you really want a pair? And he goes, yes. So I thought, okay, I'll get him a pair, he'll shut up and go away, right? No. He goes on the freaking forum.
Look what I got.
Yeah, and he goes on the freaking forum, and then everybody's, well, what is that? What is that? And of course, then there became the divide, right? My favorite clip shader, Maron, is what I call him.
Maron.
Yeah. But I said, you misspell your name. It's not M-A-R-O-N, it's M-O-R-O-N. Moron. He called it the warthog. So he causes this big controversy, and then actually Richard came right up behind you. But Richard's like a puppy dog, you know, Coity. You know, oh, Mike's gonna get one. I want to get one.
His wife made him hide his stuff.
And he was married.
He was married.
And I told him, I said, you're not gonna be married much longer.
He had to put him in a different room.
So this guy right here, you know, and I'm like, it's kind of hard to hate Mike Tennessee. Come on, you know. And he told me his name, Mike Beasley. We have a Mike Beasley at work too. And I in fact, when I told Mike Beasley, because, you know, during the pilgrimage, I said, Mike, come here. He goes, what? I want you to meet your cousin, man. Mike's black. That's great. And I said, Mike Beasley, meet Mike Beasley. Are you guys related? I see the resemblance. So in order to keep them separated, I called him Mike from Tennessee. So, but he's the bonehead that kind of started this, and you know, he is honorary lieutenant bonehead. So anyway, go ahead and say what you want to say.
And he made them pretty, by the way.
Yeah, he did. Oh yeah, then he makes them pretty, and he shows everybody. And so then everybody's, can I get a wood front like that? I'm like, and then this bonehead, he says, if I buy the plywood, will you guys, if veneered on both sides, and the plant made them, and they thought they were beautiful, but the guys, the foremen are going, but we're never going to do it again.
I remember that.
In fact, Luther has them. 9/10 is the law, right? Possession.
10 years.
10 years. Oh damn! You know what? You lost them, bro.
Yeah. Now he needs the new ones now.
And then this other bonehead from Colorado, Silverton, wanted plywood.
For your restaurant.
Marine grade plywood.
Marine grade
For
plywood
outdoors at a restaurant.
At your bar.
And it takes like 4 sheets of plywood to cut, and we ate up like 20 bits.
I thought it was 4. 20 bits at like
20
$300 a bit.
No, it was $10 a bit,
Oh,
20 bits. And,
Worked so hard.
yeah, because it was just, it's got
Stiff.
that, it's got a,
epoxy resin
no,
in between.
no, it's phenolic.
Oh, phenomenal. Okay.
And it just ate it up, and it's like sandpaper on the bit, so they have to keep changing them. And they said, yeah, that's great. Never doing that again. So there's a lot of one-offs. A lot of one-offs.
Yeah, I was number 7
Yeah.
of the professional ones.
Oh, so you
And then y'all fancied them up, and I asked you if y'all could make just a board from the factory to put on there, and that y'all had ruined it after y'all made the one fancy one. I asked just a little bit too late.
Well, there was people asked for grills and a box around them, and I'm like, dude,
No, ours look great.
you have your choice of black or black.
Right.
But anyway, that's kind of what led all this up, and then, just wanting to, well, Corey says, are you still gonna make the old ones? And I go, really, bro? I said, dude,
People were asking, you know.
I said,
Yeah, no, a lot of people
I said,
ask.
they're in production now. Buy the production ones. He goes, they're 30 grand. And I go, yeah, you don't have to sell as many to make a lot of money.
But you stole my idea. When I did the grills, it embedded the rare earth magnets,
There you go.
you know, and then you have to add the strip at the bottom so the grills don't fall down.
Dude, you're getting your check, okay?
It's $3.72 I worked out per pair. So what did you think,
Over
Mike?
time.
It's got about
Tennessee Mike?
Well, I'll tell you my version of the first time I heard it.
Well, wait. Let me get into the beer, 'cause it's gonna be a long story.
It's in the fridge right open from the outside door.
Oh, I know where it is.
Is that mural there?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was already there.
There's a story about, it's an antebellum mansion down in the south, and
Yeah, it wasn't original, the house. The house was built in the 20s.
we might get mail on this now, you know.
Yeah, maybe.
We don't know the story of,
Updated, where that is.
it's
You know
been
what I
here for a long
You know what I
time.
think is funny is Mike says,
Yeah,
look
in
at
the
some of my
40s.
versions. Like I'm freaking lying.
So, this was 2006, and that's the first pilgrimage I came to.
And I asked, are you guys getting married?
No, it's 2007.
And
You
you're still
hadn't
not,
met her then.
and you're still not married.
But we're still together.
Yeah, it works. But anyway,
I'm still together with my car, but
well, I just sold my antenna after.
But your car's paid for,
$30,000.
you know, I just want you to know that he's turning a little red.
Yeah.
Because I keep asking, so when are you gonna marry Linda, bro? You know what? Hey.
It ain't, it's not my choice.
Oh, the plot thickens.
There you go. This is going to be a really good video. Keep going.
As the world turns.
Anyway, so 2006, come down, that was the, what was it, 60th anniversary,
Yeah, I think so.
came on. But I cheated a little bit because, you know, they were doing tours and stuff, and then they was going to do the lab thing, right?
I forgot about that. Yeah.
So, I really was a lot more interested in the Jube I was hearing about.
I forgot about that.
So
And the
on
bigger
on the
horn.
tour, everybody went right,
That's-
you went left.
That's what it was. I seen everybody went that way, and okay, I'm going to head toward the lab. So I just caught him. There was a couple other guys he was talking to at the time, and so I kind of went on in there. He had some music playing, some of Paul's recording, I think, at that time on the Jube mono, and so I'm sitting there and listening, and since I'm in there by myself, I'm walking around because I've gotten interested in the polars of horns and stuff, and I wanted a horn that was a lot smoother from side to side. And what amazed me was I could get almost within a foot of the wall on each side as I would, you know, walk across, and it just, maybe a little shift in level, but the smoothness of the polars, the tone stayed. And I thought, okay, this is.
And that was also when you got into Hyzer too.
Huh?
Hyzer.
Yeah. And part of the reason I was like that was because the way I see things, you got room reflections and stuff like that. That's just what we have to live with. So if you think of a reflection as another loudspeaker, do you want a crappy loudspeaker or do you want a good loudspeaker playing? If you're going to blend them, do you want one crappy and one good, or two good ones? So my idea is I want something that's smooth, consistent.
Some people have crappy and crappy.
Yeah, sometimes you get that. So that's what I was kind of looking for. So I actually was a little more interested in the top end, and I had even had the idea like, I would stick one of them on my K-horn at the time.
Yeah, we even talked about
Yeah, we talked about that, and you probably thought I was crazy then, but
No,
But,
actually I thought,
but so anyway, he played me some Eagles, and I'm sitting there, and he plays the first one, and I thought, that is the best mono I've ever heard right there. And I mean, that's at that point, that's when I decided that's the sound I'm looking for. That's what I want right there. And
frickin' Eagles.
yeah. So he played another one or two. He played one or another two, and then I said something about, I said, I think I might want to get a pair of these. And he said, well, he said, you married? I said, no. And he went, like, he's getting a big grin.
That might work.
And so, and I talked to Richard later on the way back, and I mentioned to him, I said, you know, I think I'm going to get me a pair of, well, actually, I talked to Jake Townsend.
Yeah, Jake.
I just met him
Yeah.
too. And I told him, I said, I might get me a pair of these. He looked at me like I was nuts or something.
No.
He said,
not-
you let
no,
me know.
No, not like you're nuts.
Yeah.
You were nuts.
He said, you let me know if you do. He said, I'll make sure you get some good ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
And that's the guy to ask.
yeah. And, but anyway, so I was talking to Richard, and I told him I might get some. He never did tell me he was going to get him a pair at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, he's getting a pair too.
Well, he says, I want to be like Mike. But what was funny was, and then the next year, you know, we had the Jubilee thing again, and I think you, by that time, you had already gotten your Jubes, right?
I got those in about August
Yeah.
2006. So yeah, I've done have them.
So Mike's like, you know, already, you know, spewing his crap about him, and we're having the pilgrimage, and I noticed that when they got to the Jubilee room, some people weren't leaving. They weren't sticking with their group. And I'm like, you know, you guys are gonna have to go, and we want to hear the Jubes some more. And of course he's sitting in there already. He's like, you know, he made himself at home.
I got my spot.
I was even growing a garden there. and so and by that time we'd already, you know, we became good friends, and so I said, yeah, just sit where you want. And then another group comes in, and then 2 or 3 more stay, and I'm like, you guys are gonna have to go. And no, we want to hear more Jubes. And so the third group came in, and they left, and some more people stayed, and I'm like, there's no way the next group's gonna fit in here. I tell you what, after pilgrimage, come back. You know, after it's over, come back, and then we'll play some more music, and that's why they left.
Juke Fest one.
And then Mike said, you know what? Maybe we ought to have the pilgrimage just for Jubes. And I said, I don't even know what we would do, Mike. And he goes, you see how many people stayed here? And I go, yeah, I get it, but it would be like, I told Mike, you know what, if you can arrange it, yeah, let's go ahead. And that's when Juke Fest started.
Mm-hmm.
And all these Juke Fest, and it went longer than usual because I think one year it was different horns on a Jube. We listened to them in the chamber, and then different drivers, and then different LS, cause you know, JC likes that thump. And we did the 415, remember that, with the 402 on top? We did an MWM with the 402, a La Scala with the 402 on top. Then we did the tag drivers and the 6. I mean, we just...
Passives.
And that was my favorite, the passives versus actives. Because
Yeah.
frickin' Bergman built these
Oh, yeah.
70-pound
The size of this
networks.
table almost.
70-pound, I mean, these frickin' coils, I'm like,
They're gorgeous.
I
Hung them on the wall.
I gotta do this.
Sounds-
Am I in your will?
Right.
Because he told me how much he paid for them.
Yeah.
He made, you know, blood oath that I wouldn't tell people. But it took people to carry them in,
Mhm.
put them in the chamber. And in fact, I remember when we did the MWM, I said, if you can get the thing in there, we'll curve it. I'm not touching it. And it was like 7, oh yeah, we'll get him in there, you know. So here's this 6 or 7 boneheads trying to get an MWM in the chamber.
Barely fit on the rotator.
I know, but
We got it.
they forced it in.
Yeah, that was, you took a few of us back to your office, you pulled a big box off the shelf. You said, yeah, my friend sent me this. He's over at TAD.
Oh, yeah.
And you pulled out a Beryllium driver. You, JC, were in the room with me. And he
And Mark
said,
13.
Yeah, I got it.
I think I can get these at a rate. Is anybody interested in these? And it was like a fight to who's gonna.
You know what? I think we ended up getting like 10 pairs.
Mhm.
I mean, we ended up getting 10 pairs, and I think my friend got his commission on it.
And then in '09, you swapped that driver out. I think you compared it to a
Yep.
Palladium.
Mm-hmm.
But I think my favorite one was the Rigma the crossover.
Yeah,
Because I had a hard time picking out. Because I mean, I put every PEQ crossover, everything, gain structure, everything in that passive network that we had in the active.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. So the only thing that was missing was a delay. And I had a hard time picking it out. I mean, you had to excite that band in order to really tell. And that was an impressive demo. And
and
then
he set up his 300B amplifiers, the ones where the tubes are in a wooden case, and
yeah, I got my marshmallows out.
he hooks up those passives, giant. We had 5,000 in parts on that, 3,000. I think he said 3,000 or 5,000 in parts.
He could have went active a lot cheaper.
And
But he was determined.
Yeah.
It was a piece of art. I mean,
Yeah.
the way
I've seen
he laid
pictures
it
out
out.
there going.
And they hang them on the
Hanging on the wall.
Yeah,
they hung them on his wall.
Hanging on the wall.
And actually, he had to reinforce the wall.
Yeah.
and Roy,
Me and Courtney carried one in together. We got it out of the trunk of the car.
Oh yeah.
It was like, me and Richard carried those in. One of them, I was like, what the hell? You know?
That's
Roy-
so passive.
Roy's got his $39 Emerson CD player,
Yeah, I remember that.
and Roy popped in the Eagles and play, and I turn around and look at Roy, and Roy's like this.
Yeah.
I said, well, so what do you think, Roy? Someone asked him, and he goes, sounds okay.
Which means they sound good.
So,
I think one of the best part of the Jube Fest that we did, because we got to talking about why control directivity,
Oh yeah. In the chamber.
polars, and when we started taking all the different horns, the older ones, the
The
510s,
403, the
403s,
510, and the 402.
and would let people come in and hear how you can
Yeah,
hear.
we played
the
music in the
patterns.
chamber.
Yeah, but that was really enlightening, especially what I noticed more than anything was how you could walk around the Jube with the 402 and you'd hear level shift, but tonally, it kept its tone as you walked around, whereas most horns would spill back at some point and you could hear that, and then we'd take all that, everybody got to hear it that way, and then we put them in the room. You had to re-EQ most of them a little bit because it was hard to hear the difference in the horns in the chamber when you're on axis of them.
Yes.
He would EQ them, he wanted to make them all sound as equal as he could on axis.
Yeah,
And the lesson was about polars and about how
The
to
room.
EQ on axis, and then the polars and how that interacts with the room. And
Yeah, I all those horns have the same frequency response, and when you listen in the chamber, they sounded the same. They sound the same because everything that the polars don't matter then; it's being absorbed.
but if you remember, I started having some of y'all walk around on them, and that was, like I said, when I first heard it, I thought, wow, now this is the best example I've seen of why a horn in a room and why you want a controlled directivity horn. You don't want sudden shifts in polars and things like that. You want to maintain that tonality, and you want to try to do it evenly around. And that was actually getting to experience.
Eye-opening.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
And
Well, you know, and that's why I tell people that, there's a misconception that you want a bigger horn in a bigger room, but the reality of it is you want a bigger horn in a smaller room.
because that was a big debate.
It's more
Everybody see a
reflection.
big horn and say, "Oh my gosh, that should never go in a home," and they don't understand that that is exactly what you should put in a home from a sound perspective.
Well,
For-
one of
for
the
control.
pilgrimage, we put Richard's K-horns in that little bitty room in the farmhouse, and everyone was blown away by it.
Oh, those were my
Even those were yours. That's right.
I hauled them all over.
Even was it Mark Kaufman?
Yeah, Kaufman.
Mark Kaufman.
Yeah.
was blown away.
So
by
the
it.
MC
The other thing you did,
Yeah,
Roy, at the
Richard's not
first
from-
Jude Fest was to
Yeah.
curve and voice a compromised center. You took a La Scala bass bin with a 402 horn on it because Bill didn't have room
Yep.
for a full Jubilee, so you showed the process of
How you do it.
it's not what these guys talk about on the forum, you know, I mean, you don't
Well, what was
put a microphone in front of a speaker and da-da-da-da, I mean,
What was great about the Jude Fest to me was that the interchange of whys and to experience the sound and the reasons behind them and all that. And just like he said, he learned from us some things, just like, we're learning so much from him and all. And that was just, it was, if we think about it, it challenged you on the passes when we started talking about interacting with tube amps and how to.
Well, remember we did Zobels, remember?
Right. It started with the Zobels, and then
In fact, right on the spot, I went, hey, I'll be right back. I'll design a Zobel, we'll measure it and listen to it. No, it was. I mean, because there was a lot of instantaneous stuff that we did.
Right. Right. So it was a lot of exploring and experimenting and learning.
I know you were were you at a Jude Fest?
The first one
Were you at a Jude
in
Fest?
2007.
Why not, Luca? What did you?
We weren't together yet.
Really? Yeah, but you still could have been there. You didn't have to be with me.
I know, right? Well, yeah.
She could have been there because she's speakers first.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
I
were
was
at
at all
Jude
of
Fest.
them.
Were you at a Jude
Yeah, this
Fest?
was my first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know Mark 13 was. I know Seti was.
JC.
I know JC was because he introduced me to, one sec. You were at Jude Fest, Mike, you weren't.
No.
Cold
Young pup. Nope.
And Corey was, no, I
Wasn't
excluded
quite
him on purpose, because, he just spread bad rumors.
When was the last one?
Huh?
When was the
Oh, it's
last
been
one?
years.
Oh,
How
nine.
long was that?
09,
Yeah,
you
we
know
had
what?
2007, 8, and 9.
2009.
In the old Jude Fest forum, I posted pictures from all of them.
07 and
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so there's like some Google.
You know, because
Docs.
we took a lot of pictures.
07 and 09, no 08.
Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
sure we did.
No,
I thought there was 3.
I thought there was 4. I thought there
Was there
4.
3?
There was 3.
Yeah, no, there was 3. I thought there
Yeah.
was 4 though, because or maybe it just
I went and
seemed like
checked,
forever.
for sure the first was 07 in September. And then I looked and looked and looked, I thought there was one the very next year, but
Yeah.
nothing in Jude. We might have been on another forum at the time, I don't think we were. I think it was still just Jude's. And the next one that pops up, there's a list.
Well, I was banned from the forum, so that's when we
Yeah,
didn't have
was
it.
before. No, it was 07 and 09. Because it's like, okay, we're gonna start doing it.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty
Yeah, we
sure.
got 8 too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I got some.
You all go back in and dig up like I do in the early deal, and you'll see,
But
it may have been early '09.
do you have pictures from Mike?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
is
yeah,
like-
or at least what is there.
Because I quit being on the forum, because, no, literally, I was kicked off the forum by
I remember that.
that forum person.
Yeah, we
I'm
had,
like,
What?
you know I work for Klipsch, right?
You were the inventor.
Yeah.
he kept quoting Mark 13 at the bottom of every post,
Yes,
and
yes.
he got turned off.
No,
But,
no,
Luther created a forum for us for a while.
yeah.
It's by invite. We
Roy's Place is a
Roy's
happy
Place.
place.
Well,
I remember Roy's place, yeah.
Travis was
There you go.
So, did you have any first impressions yet? From this afternoon?
Yeah.
What were they?
And, it's kind of what I was talking with Roy with during that. First, I really liked the Jubilee. Finish, like Mark said, this is beautiful cabinet, beautiful. You have to really see it. Renderings are not gonna really
That's
give
what
you
Michael can.
the feel for how. I mean, it's a big speaker, but to me it looks proportionally and everything looks beautiful. The finish is awesome. The 4-2 horns finish is beautiful. I think it's deeper than the other cabinet. It's not deeper. And
No, it's
24.
Well, I don't know how deep I think the current Juke is 30, the underground, and the new Juke is 30.
Is that big?
The depth.
The depth on the underground is 24.
Yeah.
I think it's because of the HF horn board that is 30, but I've always tried to keep it, the K horn is 30 inches deep. And Paul says, if you can't get it in the house, who cares? And so that's why I always look at 30 inches.
Yeah.
And so the current Juke is 30, 69 inches tall, 50 inches wide.
But
So do you know the displacement on a KHJLF? Did you ever submerge one of those? Or just a La Scala?
Just a little Scala and Cornwall.
So y'all know the story about that, right?
You submerged them?
Let's hear your opinion of the
Go ahead.
Volumetric displacement.
He wanted a precise measurement.
Well, he is a doctor,
Right. CCs matter.
Yes, they do.
Go ahead, Mike. What else?
Well, anyway, what I heard was just a very seamless, a lot of clarity, a lot of detail. Obviously, a good low end. I've got the Proto 1502, and I run it with my Jubes, and it just really reminds me of the sound I get with that combination. It's all in one package right there. Honestly, I don't know that I would change anything about that sound that I was hearing. I'll be really interested to hear the stereo and stuff of it. But I really thought it was really good. Now, I heard a little wondering with both of them a little bit, and this is mono, so you think, but I think it's a little bit of room interaction and a little bit of other things we discussed.
Well, that's why I kind of
Facebook
told him
and
just
other
a little
things.
bit in.
And, but I heard that in both, but I could obviously hear something with the 402 on the underground Jeep. As far as on the vocals, I could hear some shifting and stuff that I didn't hear on the other one. And so that was interesting.
I think there was wind blowing in your ear, bro. So when are you getting married?
Like we was talking there, as far as the underground Jeep, that's why I was asking you about the programming and stuff, because I heard what I felt like was emphasis that I don't normally hear on my system and stuff. But then, like I said, I do take my systems and it's got to work in the room and everything else. So whether I'm tuning for the room, tuning for the cabinet, or whatever,
the system.
I'm tuning the system then. And so I feel like some of that can be pulled out of the old one if that's going on to some extent, you know. And I know when we got to talking, you said you debated about doing that.
Well, you know, and that's why I think one of the best ideas we had was, I think for one Juke Fest we sent out CDs.
Mhm.
So you have those CDs, and you know, over the years I would say on this cut, this is what I listen for. This cut, this is what I use it for, and it's mainly because I've heard them live.
Mhm.
And my famous story or infamous story that Travis had mentioned earlier today was I heard Bonnie Raitt live, and I originally got the disc, and she was really raspy and a little nasally, and so on my crossover I kind of tamed her down. Well, the problem was when I heard her live, in a little club, that's the way she sounds,
Right.
and I'm going like, okay, so what's the goal, right?
So you put the rasp back in?
I put the rasp back in, and so when you hear Bonnie, she's got to have that raspiness and nasally. When she hits it, well, she's just a little irritating, but that's the way she is. You know, you don't. Again, are you trying to get as close to reality or not?
Right.
You know. I mean, it's like when I get on Facebook and these chicks send me pictures and then I meet them in real life and I go,
It's not even the same person.
damn! Talk about filters.
Turns out it's to do.
Yeah, I want the real one, okay? Is that your sister?
So anyway, I guess it's like I told you. I said first thing I'd be doing is I'd be in there and playing that old Jeep, trying to make it sound a little more like the new one now, whether it's the design or whatever's going on there at the time.
But you have those cuts though.
Right.
You have those CDs
Right.
that you know what to listen for now, because that was one of on the first Juke we talked about on these cuts. Here's what I listen for, you know, and here and the only reason I can tell you is because I went and heard James Newton Howard live. I love Jeff Porcaro. He's an awesome drummer, and I wanted to hear him live, and in an intimate club. Not PA, him. So I could hear how he's playing his drums and stuff. And because I'm a drummer too, then I know when he plays for James Newton Howard, he's using that kit. And now I know how it sounds. And so the snare has to be a certain way, that his bass drum, you know, his left and right upper toms, his left and right, you know, bottom toms, his cymbals, the way he works the cymbals. I mean, even his sticks. You know, what kind of sticks he uses.
Pretty soon.
So you know, I really try to keep those things in my memory on how they sound. And what helps me is the speakers that I've designed before. That helps me to remember, because acoustic memory kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But these other speakers that I've designed, oh yeah, that's right, that's what I'm looking for. That's why when we went over those cuts, I think it was 4 CDs.
4 CDs.
Yeah, it was 4 CDs, and we went through every cut, and I said, here's what you got to listen for. I'm just telling you what I've experienced, because I went to go hear, you know, I went to go see Victor Wooten. I went to go hear Victor Wooten live because he wanted a subwoofer. We designed a subwoofer for him. And he gave me some tickets to go see him, and I wanted to go hear him. I wanted to hear him play his 4-string bass and his 6-string bass. Flight of the Hippo 6-string.
Yeah.
And I wanted to hear how he plays it, because I've gotten several some comments when they listen to Victor, like on a K1 or something. Oh, that sound like a rub in the speaker, and I said, dude, that's a string. It's rubbing against. He's plucking it, so it's vibrating on his fretboard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know, because that's just the way he plays it, right?
Right.
So all those little nuances, so that you can remember. So you were telling me that's sometimes when you wonder where your system is, you play those, because you remember okay, this is my reference point.
Anytime I was gonna make adjustments, I would play those CDs.
Right.
When I got those to sound the way I wanted them to,
Mm-hmm.
the way I thought they should, then I just stopped this, we were talking about this at dinner, stopped nitpicking in my brain, the critical listening, and just played music after that and said, the system is a system now.
Right.
Listen to music, it's the way it should be.
Because now,
Don't pick every song out and try to.
because now once you got it calibrated because of those songs, then the source is the source.
Then I just listen to the music.
Right.